Warning, this game contains content that might not be suitable for most audiences. Viewers' discretion is advised. The door slammed behind him, deadening the howling wind and heavy rain. Why did that have to take so long? The rain is going to make her decompose quicker. She doesn't deserve a soggy, split-open corpse. There's no time. I'll have to try the ritual again. The morgue is too suspicious for me to try and get another body. Lightning struck just outside his window as he dropped the duffel bag. Quickly, he shut the curtains so no prying eyes would see what he was about to do. His boots squelched beneath him, their soles a mixture of blood, soil, and raindrops that unsuccessfully washed the rest away. Turn the lights off, close the curtains, light the candles. Everything was in order, all except the key to his wishes lay rotting in the middle of his living room. When he knelt and unzipped the bag, the decomposing odor slapped him across the face and burned his throat. Blood lingered on the palm of his hands as he hesitated. The nameless girl in his duffel bag died just a few hours ago. He didn't know her name, but he really didn't care. All he cared about was who this nameless girl would be a vessel for. Yua. Her name made his chest tighten, tears brimming as he clutched his duffel bag against his chest. It had only been a couple of weeks since her untimely death. He was the first on the scene to witness it. How could he forget? The helplessness. Despite feeling time slow down, he swore if he was just a bit faster, he could have done something. He always watched her from afar, whether in the bushes surrounding her apartment and the trees that granted him access to her windows. How could he take a break from watching her? Did he truly believe there was something more important than her? His feet hitting the concrete, his hands outstretched towards her until two girls collided with him. Her friends. He ran away without warning her. They pushed him back onto the sidewalk, letting only her get hit. The car drove straight through the red light and hit her. She was standing there, not even realizing that her life was about to end. What they did was cruelty. He made sure the two girls and driver learned the consequences of that. He made sure of it. The cold, wet sensation traveled down his leg, drenching his socks and waterlogged boots. It took a moment for him to realize he was holding the girl's arm. Blood trickled, drop by drop, onto his floor. Even in death, people chose to rip him away from Yua. This is fine. I'll be fine. She'll be fine. I should probably check that book, just in case. She's watching over me. She'll bless me this time, with a presence. With the book half open, he raised another arm towards the ritual circle and spoke. Tibia omnia mea offera, ita mihi chinen yua offer. A single tremble in the earth beneath him, barely noticeable, yet his heart stopped. Then came silence. He tensed, anticipating the worst, the ritual not working, someone seeing him, the cops discovering him. The books resting in the bookcase fell, one by one, to the floor, papers scattering everywhere. He tried to remain standing, clutching the book against his chest as the ground threatened to rip open beneath him. An earthquake? That's the worst thing that can happen! He lost his footing, falling backwards against the couch and sinking to his knees. Whatever happened, he couldn't let the book leave his sight. The lights exploded like fireworks, raining down onto the floor. Tiny sparks landing on him, burning him. Lights flashed, and the floor violently shook as a zapping sensation starting in the back of his skull shut down his neck. The room began to spin, weakness seizing hold of him as the book loosened. Then the world darkened. Everything was a blur, and his eyes groggily opened. His fingers were stiff, still latched onto the necromancy book. When a bit of his strength returned, he forced himself onto his knees, thoughts slowly catching up with his movement. What? He gasped, immediately searching for the book, only to sigh when he still had it. Did anything? His words dissolved on his tongue when he looked up. With an emotionless smile spread across her face, she looked down on him with two conniving horns. An angel in a devilish disguise. Long, jet-black hair, bright green eyes now flecked with crimson, and that idle smile. So Sasiko, so it was you who brought me back? Too stunned to speak, a surge of energy propelled him forward. His limbs ached, but he didn't care. He hadn't seen her since the crash. Back then, she had been bleeding out onto the street, her bones broken and eyes left open in permanent misery. Now, you're back. I didn't know your obsession with me went this far. You mutilated a girl for me. How peculiar. Unable to move too far, he fell to his knees and looked up at her admiringly. Do you like the body? It took a few tries, but I knew you were supporting me from the other side. She's extra fresh, only killed a few hours ago. I can't believe it. You're such a lunatic. Yua giggled softly, breaking out quickly into laughter as she pulled onto the ends of her hair. You maniac! Can't you see what you've done? You're hilarious, beyond saving. I can't believe I didn't think you would do this. Yua? Good on you, Go. I knew I could depend on you. You can't help it, can you? So I might ask this. What was the point of bringing me back? Do you want me to kill someone, to return to my old life, to grant you powers? I do have awesome abilities now, some that would drive you slowly into delirium and madness. I want you to marry me and be my wife. What? I brought you back so we can be together. I'm not losing you again. Ah, I see. Well, I can't give you that. Yet. You'll have to work for it, doll. Whatever it takes. Oh, this is so exciting. I can't believe you're this stupid. What if I just kill you after you release me? You won't. Oh? And why is that? Because, at the end of the day, will make you love me back. Interesting. I'll take that as a challenge, doll. Especially since your ritual hasn't finished. You've only completed step 1 out of 3. The book only mentioned bringing you back with the body parts. It didn't mention anything else. That's because no one has made it this far. Take a look at your notebook again. The one you've been holding so tight in your knuckles have gone wide. He looked down at the necromancy book tucked against his chest, something he treasured moments ago, now important since she was here. Do you understand, doll? You'll have to go through some rigorous challenges. You might even die. I mean, heck, this wouldn't be the first time. Sure. Yeah, why not? I'd like to see you try them. Once you fail, I can just take over your body and escape. So either way, I don't really care. You'll eat those words later. I know everything about you. So I know that you want someone who wholly loves you with his whole body and soul. Someone who puts you on a pedestal. Who else but your very own stalker to give you that? Interesting. Very well then, I won't stop you. She took a deep breath, raising her chin to the ceiling as if talking to someone above her. He's agreed to the terms and conditions. Can we start now? The room shook once again, possibly in agreement with her. Before he could examine further, a wave of nausea made his stomach churn. He couldn't lift his hand high enough to cover his mouth. The room began to blur and spin. Sweat stuck to his forehead as his hands trembled. Already too hard? Can't handle all this, woman. She laughed, but this time, he didn't know if he could endure it. If he hasn't keeled over on the verge of sickness, he could have enjoyed making her laugh, even at the cost of his humiliation. You've already met your first challenge. I'm on a separate realm, mortal mutt. Of course, you're going to struggle to be close. He couldn't throw a witty response like he usually did. In fact, it took everything he could not to ruin the floor or his clothes. Struggling? You know, I can offer you one last chance to turn back. I'll even make your final 60 seconds of life worthwhile. Ugh. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stick around for this. I've come this far for you. Few obstacles won't stand in my way. I will be with you. Strong, aren't we? Go on then. Survive. Almost. I did it. Ooh, did pretty well. I didn't think you would actually survive. Well, what can I say? I can handle all that woman. Tacky. Just for that, I won't talk to you until the last challenge is done. Come on! Now that he could stand, his legs felt like jello beneath him. The room looked a little different. He couldn't quite put his finger on it. Nuh-uh. I can't let you get that comfortable. Not if you want to survive having me as a blushing bride. Let's see if you can take this. Ah! Why is it harder? Fuck! Fuck! Ah! Ah! Heartwarming. Doesn't sound like it coming from you. I'm beyond your mortal perceptions. Emotions I experience are nothing you can understand. I can understand that you're starting to like me. No? Then why is that? You talked to me. You said you wouldn't until the last challenge. Can't give me the silent treatment anymore, huh? You! That confirms my theory. What theory? The portal you're in inhibits your emotions. Once you're out, I'll be able to see the true you. This silence confirms it. Shut up! It would annoy me if I was you. It won't help me with the last challenge. And what exactly is that last challenge? Kill another man, slice my arm off, get on my knees and crown you as God? Too easy, at least for you. This last challenge will be a date. That was easy. Finally. What? I was waiting for this moment. Can I go get changed? You aren't nervous? You're ridiculous. A date with you? I thought I'd have to do more to get to this point. Now I wish I robbed that second grave for some flowers. Let's just get this over with. Okay, here we go. He took a deep breath, mustering up his attractive expression and running his hand through his hair. Before he could finish, she burst into laughter. Hey, wasn't done yet. I'm sorry. It's just, looks so ugly doing that. Well, if you know that I could have scored a lot of people with that. Really now? Uh-huh. Well, you're failing now. I knew I didn't have to be worried. You couldn't nail this date. I can see it in your eyes. The only thing you can see in my eyes is your beautiful reflection. Not my best, I'll admit. I'm not even that surprised. At least I'm lightening you up. You don't seem as tense as you were when we started. You're that attentive, huh? Why wouldn't I be? You are my future bride. Stop saying stuff like that! You don't even know me. All you did was stalk me from the bushes. I'm draining you of your life energy as we speak. Whatever comes of this won't last long. Doesn't it bother you, wasting your life on someone who will outlive you by decades? Not at all. You're all I want. The truth is, if this ritual didn't work, I was almost going to turn myself in. No point in staying here if you aren't. I'm glad it did. You're not half bad for a stalker. Even though this date sucks. This was only to make you fall for me, right? No way is this a proper date. I was going to take you out to dinner. French jazz music, roses, rotisserie chicken, the works. How'd you know I like French music? Oh yeah, Stalker. So, how about you open up your heart? Give this bean down stalker a chance. I did say I'd win your heart from the very start. I'm this close to breaking your exterior. Might as well admit it. Cocky, aren't we? Very, if you catch my drift. She stared blankly at me, as if registering the joke. Then she turned dark red and pulled at the ends of her hair. God, I just can't stand you sometimes. Ironic that you can call upon him. Now, will I have to pull out the honorary flirty jokes, or will you admit you feel a little different? A little interested? Fine. I can't deny that you've hooked me. Score! Does that mean... Yes, that means our little pathetic date is over. You're lucky that joke landed. So what happens now? Well, there was a layer of awkwardness that wasn't present before. Was it because the force field was weakening? Or shy now? Yeah? Is there anything else I need to do? No, that was it. I won you over, right? 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 You did, okay? Oh my god. What is it now? You're blushing. He could feel pride coursing through him and reducing Stonewall Jackson into a blushing bride. Before he could bully her further, the ritual circle began to crack. Just like when it formed, he couldn't catch himself as he fell. He ditched the book, crawling towards Yua as a blinding light consumed him. This time, something heavy pushed his head to the ground, causing darkness to consume him. When he came to, his head throbbed. He forced his eyes to open, reeling from the dizziness. Beside him, a shattered vase convinced him what happened. He trailed off as his vision finally cleared. The ritual circle had a large crack running through it, but that wasn't what caught his attention. It was her. The light of his life, stood in a flowing white gown. A big white rose rested across her waist, and a thin veil fell to either side. When he met her gaze, his heartbeat picked up. I'm free? Overwhelmed with emotion, he picked himself up off the ground, ignoring his aching joints. He ran towards her, letting his weakness fold him into a knelt position in front of her. How does it feel to be back? It feels amazing! She twirled around, laughing as the fringes of her gown billows beneath her. He made sure that none of the blood from his ritual stained it. And you're amazing. Her gaze softened for a fraction. You're amazing, girl. I've dreamt of this moment. Don't let me distract you. Do it. He blinked and then finally got the idea. Since you're already in the outfit, he didn't have a ring. Even if he knew he would eventually get here, nothing told him it would be today. I don't have a ring. Doesn't matter. Just say the words. You sure? I'm sure. Okay. He cleared his throat, looking up at her. His throat grew dry, hands trembling by his sides. Shinan Yua, light of my life, the person I've been chasing ever since I've laid my eyes on you. Will you marry me? No. God damn it! What? She then burst into laughter, nearly doubling over. Of course, yes, you don't. Oh, that was a roller coaster of emotions. Yes, I will. He couldn't resist anymore. As soon as she said yes, he swooped her into his arms and twirled her around. Lightning bolts struck his finger where he met her skin. A warm feeling made his heart race even more. He finally did it. She was his perfect fit. And that was the end. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That was Perfect Fit. If you guys want to play this game for yourself, link to it will be in the description below, as it always is. This was not a game that was made for this year's Yandere Game Jam, and hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that there's a few more from this game jam, which I still haven't played yet, but I will be getting to it real soon, so hey, stick around for that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I will be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.